Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're going to be diving into the LinkedIn creator economy.
Okay.
All right. So you sent over some really fascinating material.
Yeah.
It features this guy, John Krasinski, and a conversation that he had with Keith Billis.
Gotcha.
Now, full disclosure right off the bat.
Yeah.
John Krasinski is someone that I've been wanting to learn a little bit more about.
Okay.
And so this is perfect.
All right.
So we'll be able to dig into his ideas about the creator economy and LinkedIn and authenticity.
Yeah.
And the changing landscape of all that.
Sounds good.
All right. So John Krasinski, just so we're all on the same page,
Yeah.
is this really interesting guy.
Okay.
He's a personality on LinkedIn,
Okay.
and he's known for this really energetic and humorous content.
Gotcha.
He's really kind of blown up in the Web3 and kind of the tech space.
Okay.
And he's also really into building communities,
Mm-hmm.
both online and offline, through events and stuff. So that's
Okay.
kind of his jam.
Yeah. No, that's interesting.
So especially, and we'll be using this term authenticity a lot today,
Okay.
to refer to creators like him who really focus on genuine interaction
Gotcha.
and resist this pressure to be super polished and slick.
Right.
They're just themselves.
Yeah. I think that's super important, especially on LinkedIn,
Yeah,
where it can be very much like, look at me, I'm perfect.
totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's a very, it's a very specific audience too.
Absolutely.
It's people who are, trying to, promote their careers and
Right.
stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it's interesting to see him, take this approach.
Yeah. I'm curious to hear more.
Now, before we go any further, we've got to address this right.
That's it.
The name,
Yeah.
John Krasinski,
Yeah.
often confused with a very famous actor.
Uh-huh. John Krasinski?
That's right.
Right.
John Krasinski.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
They're very similar names.
I know. We'll see that he definitely has fun with this. Okay.
But just so everyone knows,
Yeah.
we're talking about the LinkedIn guy,
Right, not Jim from The Office.
not Jim from The Office.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so when I first looked at these materials,
Yeah.
one of the things that really kind of jumped out at me was how much they were both talking about this changing landscape of LinkedIn.
Yes.
Like, what's going on over there?
It's so interesting because they both seem really concerned about,
Yeah.
they use this term monkey videos
Okay.
and other low effort content that's just flooding the platform.
Right, and that's something that we've seen across a lot of different social media,
Yeah, totally.
This race to the bottom almost.
It's like this weird tension
Yeah,
between wanting to create meaningful content,
right.
but also chasing these viral trends.
Right.
Yeah.
Totally. And it just seems extra weird on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
A place that prides itself on being professional and
Yeah.
thought leadership.
What are they supposed to do with monkey videos?
I know, it's so strange.
Yeah.
But Krasinski makes this argument that, it's really diluting the platform's value. And he actually says that he longs for smaller and more focused communities
Okay.
built around shared values rather than just chasing likes and views.
I mean, that makes sense.
Right.
He's all about community building.
Yeah, he uses this great analogy, too.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
He says, imagine if you had to pay $1 for every person that you follow, and you could only follow a maximum of 20 people,
Okay.
you'd be a lot more selective
I would think so.
about who makes it into your feed.
Absolutely.
And I think that's such a powerful way to look at it.
Yeah. It makes you really evaluate, like, are
Yeah.
these connections valuable?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Are they bringing you something,
Right.
or are they just noise?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Billis had a similar take. Yeah, he really emphasized the importance of genuine conversation
Okay.
as this metric for value.
Right.
Like, those back and forth discussions that happen in the comments?
Right. Right.
And you just can't fake those
No, you can't.
with AI,
Not really. Yeah.
And he sees that as this way to combat
Yeah.
all the increasing automation and superficiality that's kind of creeping into the online world.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to focus on those numbers,
Yeah.
likes and follows.
Totally.
But ultimately,
Yeah.
what really matters
Yeah.
is the quality of those interactions.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about building a community
Right.
and fostering that sense of belonging.
Exactly.
I'm really curious, how does Krasinski put that into practice?
Yeah. Well, that's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
This guy, he really walks the walk
Uh-huh.
when it comes to authenticity.
Okay.
He's known for picking up a LinkedIn connection from the airport.
What?
Yeah. A guy named Josh McCollin.
Really?
Yeah, and he said he doesn't even do that for, like, his close friends.
Wow.
So, like, this is someone that he knows primarily online.
So he's building a community.
Yeah, and Billy's called this a powerful example of building community around content and conversation.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going above and beyond.
Totally.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, it's one thing to talk about this airport pickup.
Yeah.
But I actually have a clip here.
Oh, wow.
Of Krasinski talking about it himself.
Okay.
Well, let's listen.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Audio clip plays. So, you know, hearing him talk about it really kind of brings it home.
It does.
You know, this idea that he's really committed to this.
It's like picking up someone from the airport is something you do for, like, family.
Right.
Or close friends. Not just some random.
Someone you met online.
Yeah, someone you met online,
right.
You know?
Yeah.
And it really challenges this idea that online relationships are somehow less real.
It does make you wonder if he's kind of blurring the lines a bit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Between the online and offline world.
Totally.
And setting this precedent.
Yeah. Is this the new standard?
Right. For how we're supposed to be engaging with our online communities.
Yeah. And obviously, like, not everyone is going to be picking up their LinkedIn connections.
You're not scalable.
From the airport.
Right.
You know, but
it makes you think.
It makes you think, you know, how can we be translating this into our own communities?
Exactly. Like, how can we take that spirit and apply it in a way that makes sense for us?
What are those small gestures that we can be doing, you know?
Like maybe it's...
that really show people we care?
A handwritten note.
Yeah.
Or just a thoughtful comment.
Yeah, or offering help on a project.
Right.
Something.
Yeah.
Something genuine.
That isn't this huge, grand gesture.
Right. But it's still meaningful.
Exactly.
You know, and I think what's so interesting is that he's putting his money where his mouth is.
Right. Literally.
Right. You know, with that $1 analogy, he's like actually doing it.
He's investing the time and the energy into those relationships.
And he's building this real community.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't argue with the results.
And it's getting attention.
Right. He's building a brand.
Yeah.
He's sparking conversation.
Yeah.
This is great.
Okay. So let's move on to another really interesting aspect of Krasinski's online presence.
What's that?
And that is his accidental rise to fame as the sexiest man alive.
Right, the John Krasinski.
That's right, the John Krasinski confusion.
It's amazing how quickly that blew up.
I know.
On Threads.
It's so funny.
It really shows you the power of name recognition.
Yeah.
Especially when there aren't a lot of visuals.
Yeah.
People just make assumptions.
Totally, and people were leaving comments about The Office or Jack Ryan.
It's hilarious.
And he just went with it.
He did.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's brilliant.
You know?
It's so clever.
Yeah, he's not trying to trick anyone.
Yeah.
But he's also...
I mean, he's using it.
Having fun with it.
Yeah, he's like, why not?
Yeah.
This is great.
He plays into his whole thing.
Yeah,
you know,
totally.
Of authenticity.
It's like this accidental authenticity.
Right. He's not afraid to poke fun at himself.
Yeah.
And just kind of roll with it.
Yeah. It makes you wonder if the best personal brand is the one you don't even try to control.
Maybe so.
You know?
Yeah.
It's just like, be yourself.
Right.
And if people think you're a famous actor,
embrace the chaos.
Go with it.
Right?
Yeah.
It's great.
Okay. So we've talked about the airport pickup.
Okay.
We've talked about John Krasinski. Let's talk about the whiteboard strategy.
Oh, yeah. This is a good one.
This is one of my favorites.
So he's basically making fun of all those LinkedIn influencers.
Yeah. All those gurus.
Who are always posting those motivational quotes.
Yeah, with the whiteboard.
On a whiteboard.
Yeah, yeah.
But he takes it to a whole other level.
He does. He's like, oh, I'm going to be ironic about it. Yeah. He even said, like, he got bored with his vision board.
Okay.
And just decided to, like, throw up some stale quotes and see what would happen.
That's amazing.
It's like he's making fun of the whole...
Yes. Mocking the whole...
Self-improvement
industry.
Sure, yeah.
It's great.
And that pressure to always be projecting this image of success and motivation. Like, come on, guys.
And he's like, no, I'm just going to throw up whatever.
Yeah, just to see what happens.
On this whiteboard.
That's amazing.
It's brilliant.
It's so effective.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's so counterintuitive.
Because it subverts expectations.
Yeah.
It's memorable.
It's funny.
It's engaging.
Yeah. And it starts a conversation.
It's another example of him challenging the status quo.
Right. He's encouraging people to think differently.
Yeah. And just not be afraid.
To be silly.
Silly.
To make fun of yourself.
Yeah.
To question the norms.
Yeah. And I think this all ties back to this idea that authenticity doesn't have to be serious.
It can be fun.
Yeah, it can be playful.
It can be humorous.
Yeah.
Even a little self-deprecating.
Yeah, exactly. And then, of course, we have the Google adventure.
Oh, yeah?
Which he completely fabricated.
So he made up this story.
He made up this whole story about accidentally showing up at Google for a job interview.
For a job he didn't apply for.
That he didn't apply for.
Right.
He's playing with that line between reality and persona.
It's brilliant.
I know, it's so funny.
It's also kind of a commentary on big tech culture.
Yeah, that whole allure of Google.
The allure of Google.
Yeah.
You know, like we all want to work there.
And he's tapping into this shared experience,
Yeah.
even though it didn't happen.
Even though it's made up.
But it's still relatable.
Totally.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
And it's this reminder that we all have these moments of awkwardness and confusion.
Right.
You know?
Even in our professional lives.
Even in our professional lives.
Don't take yourself too serious.
Yeah, just laugh at yourself.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so.
Let's shift gears a bit.
Okay.
And talk about his interest in the Middle East.
Oh, yeah.
Specifically, Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
And the creator economy there.
This is interesting.
Yeah, it's really fascinating.
He sees potential in this market.
He sees a ton of potential.
That maybe other people are missing.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's even thinking about creating more serious content in 2025.
It's kind of a shift.
Yeah, more knowledge-based stuff.
From the funny stuff to more...
helping people understand and navigate.
Yeah, like educational...
this market.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's really interesting.
That's a big change.
Because it shows that he's willing to evolve.
Right.
You know?
He's not afraid to try new things.
Yeah.
And branch out.
Yeah. And maybe, you know, use his platform for something more than just entertainment.
It's really highlighting the global nature
Yeah.
of the creator economy.
Totally.
That there are these opportunities outside of the usual places.
Yeah.
And the people who are willing to explore those have an advantage.
Yeah. And he's taking a cue from people like Amrali Khan.
Right.
Who talked about finding these niche communities.
Yeah.
And building those genuine connections.
Yeah. And so he's taking that.
Yeah.
And applying it globally.
Exactly.
Interesting.
And I think that's something for all of us to consider.
Right. What are we missing?
Yeah. What communities are we overlooking?
What opportunities are out there?
Yeah. To be curious.
Right.
You know, be open to new things.
You know, because the creator economy is...
It's changing all the time.
It's constantly evolving.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about another important aspect of Krasinski's success.
What's that?
And that is collaboration.
Okay.
He's a big believer in collaboration.
It seems like it, yeah.
He talks about this one LinkedIn Live that he did with Josh McCollin, Antonio Savalas, and Rachel Drunkenier.
Okay.
And how much he enjoyed the energy of that and the different perspectives that everyone brought to the table.
Makes sense.
And they're actually planning to do more stuff together.
They are.
In 2025.
Okay, cool.
And, you know, it's such a smart strategy because by collaborating, you tap into new audiences.
New audiences.
Who learn from each other.
From each other.
And you create a more dynamic experience for everyone.
It's a win-win.
Yeah, right.
Totally.
It also reinforces that sense of community.
Like, it's not just about me, me, me.
Yeah.
It's about us.
Yeah. It's about helping each other.
Right.
It's about working together.
Working together to build something bigger than yourself.
So this brings us to a really important question for you. How can you leverage the power of community and authentic connection to create a meaningful experience both online and in the real world?
You know, it's interesting.
Yeah.
We keep coming back to this airport pickup.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a grand gesture.
Yeah.
Not very scalable.
Right.
But the principle behind it.
Right.
It's about going beyond the expected.
Yes.
To build a connection.
Yeah. It's so easy to get caught up in the metrics of it all.
The likes, the comments.
Yeah.
Followers.
Yeah. But I think Krasinski is really reminding us that real connection requires more than just that.
More than just clicking a button.
Yeah, it's about translating those online interactions into something more tangible.
More human.
More human,
And you don't have to pick someone up from the airport to do that.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Maybe it's sending a personalized message to someone whose work you really like.
Yeah.
Or offering to help someone on a project.
Yeah, what really resonated with me was that analogy of the $1.
Right. If you had to pay for each follow.
Yeah, and you could only follow 20 people.
Right.
It really makes you think.
Who would you choose?
Yeah, who would you choose? Yeah. Who are you actually investing in?
Exactly. Are you getting something out of it?
Yeah, is it someone who challenges you or inspires you or makes you laugh?
Right. Or all of the above.
Yeah, or all of the above.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's about being really intentional.
It is.
About the connections we make.
Be intentional.
Don't be afraid to
Yeah.
make them more personal.
Reach out.
Yeah.
Send that message.
Send a message.
You know?
Yeah, just start a conversation.
Yeah.
You know, and remember,
Yeah.
it's a two-way street.
It is.
It's not just about what you can get.
It's about what you can give.
It's about what you can give.
Yeah.
And I think Krasinski is a great example of that.
He is.
With his focus on collaboration.
Exactly.
He's not just building his own brand.
He's lifting other people up.
He's supporting others.
Working together.
Yeah.
To create something bigger.
And that's the power of community.
It is.
You know, when it's done right.
Absolutely.
So I think we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
We've talked about LinkedIn.
The creator economy.
Authenticity.
All the good stuff.
The challenges,
Yeah.
you know, of the online world.
It's a lot to think about.
Yeah, it's a lot to think about. And, you know.
You brought some great stuff.
Yeah, this was really interesting.
For us to discuss.
Yeah, and, you know, it's inspiring to see people like
Yes,
Krasinski pushing the boundaries.
Yeah, he's a good example.
Of what's possible.
Yeah.
So as you continue on your journey, yes.
Remember these key takeaways.
Be authentic.
Embrace authenticity.
Build those genuine connections.
Cultivate those meaningful connections.
Right.
And find ways to make it real.
Yeah.
Find ways to translate that online connection.
Make it human.
Into something human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
All right, so that's it for our deep dive today.
Okay.
Until next time, stay curious and keep diving deep.
Sounds good.